In this video, I'm literally going to be explaining how to look sexy by summer with a twist without losing weight. And the interesting thing is, I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen people lose 15 pounds and still not look sexy and still not look lean. And on the flip side, I've also seen people who barely lose weight, but they have their jawline start popping, they have their abs start showing. In this video, I'm literally going to be showing you how to look visibly leaner fast without losing weight, without starving yourself, no doing insane cardio, and no waiting for months because we need to dial that summer body now. And with that said, you already know, no time wasted. Let's run it. Let's go. Let's go. Sub to the channel, follow on every social media platform. You already know that game is about to be dropped. I will not let you leave this video without knowing the biggest mistake you're about to make. Now, most guys will think, oh, I need to look leaner. So they are thinking a caloric deficit. They're thinking starving yourself. They need slash the calories, lose muscle. By the time they do every single one of those things, they always just feel exhausted, tired, and frustrated. But what you actually need to do is you need to manage a few things. You need to manage your water retention. You need to reduce your inflammation and you need to fix your digestion. Now, I can personally speak from also experience that I have lost a stupid ton of weight and I have not looked sexy. And my face was still bloated. My jawline was not even showing. So I'm going to tell you that this is a mistake that I personally have made, and I would never want you to leave this video making the same mistake. So you can actually look like you've lost 5 to 10 pounds without actually losing weight. And it's just going to be dialing in a few things I'm going to be explaining. Come on, let's go. Like right now, you can see my jawline, yes? There used to be a time when my face was just round like a moon. The first mistake I really was making when I look in hindsight was I was not drinking enough water. And the thing is, your dehydration is really, really holding you back. I was walking around looking ugly and puffy because I was just not drinking enough water. And the simple fix for this would just be drinking 3 to 4 liters of water. This right here has changed my life. I'm not even playing with you. And people also really think, oh, we just need to reduce our sodium. We need to cut out sodium. But that's not just the only thing. You also need to bump up your potassium. That's very, very essential. Like the moment I started eating foods that were very rich in potassium, things like your potatoes, your bananas, your spinach. For the first time, I started seeing my jawline pop. For the first time, I started seeing my confidence rise. I started kind of looking like a guy's that I see online. You know that you want to mug every single person this summer. And the mistake I know you're most likely going to make is you want to slash and cut out carbs. But the problem is, whenever you cut out carbs, because carbs have been so demonized, the thing is you are going to look flat. That's a problem. For you to actually have that summer sexy look, you actually need carbs in your system. So most men will try and diet hard. And by the time they're dieting hard, the first thing that they hear is cut out carbs. Carbs hold water. But no, you need to understand how carbs work as well. Carbs are being converted to glycogen. And when they're converted to glycogen, glycogen holds water. When glycogen holds water, it makes your muscle actually look fuller. So I want you to actually start fueling right for your workouts. Eat a carb pre-workout. This is going to give you a lot of energy, especially for you guys to have your work-life balance. You have so many things going on. This is so essential. Like this has been a game changer for me. Eating a carb pre-workout. Obviously, I want you to have that beautiful body. And finally, you need to also recover properly. So do not cut out carbs, please. You need this to mug every single person this summer. I know you want that jawline popping, as I promise. So I know that your face might also hold you back. So we're going to be doing a de-bloat protocol. As I was saying, I've struggled with bloating myself. I've looked jacked and my face was looking like a moon. But you want to get your jawline crisp. And with that said, you need to start hydrating early in the day. I know we've touched this already. And you also need to start sleeping properly. The reason why I would say you need to start dialing in your sleep is because cortisol is an hormone that also would increase your facial puffiness. So by the time you start sleeping properly, you would manage that stress hormone. And by the way, I know you have a lot of things going on in your life. When things start getting a lot in our life, the first thing we try and do is we cut out our sleep. but your sleep is a non-negotiable because when you don't sleep properly, you spike up your cortisol. And that spike is not really natural because it starts blunting out your jawline and making you look bloated, and you start holding on to more water. And we don't want any of that. We need to cut out the useless alcohol, which gives empty calories, and the late night meals. This has also been a game changer. I always try and keep my last meal 2 to 3 hours before my bedtime. When I started implementing that one habit, my face actually started looking leaner. And finally, we need to cut out the liquid calories and processed foods. I'm not saying that you don't need to eat any junk food or anything, but some of all these liquid calories and processed food, they just pack a stupid ton of calories. And we want your face dialed in, as I promised. Now we go to the leaner cheat code. Yes, yes, yes. So we're gonna dial this in by walking more. I'm not going to lie to you. I personally believe that walking is very, very underrated. You're burning calories, you're keeping it very low intensity. You don't need a stupid ton of cardio. And this also improves digestion. Like the moment I started just walking every single time I have a meal, this literally just started speeding up my digestion, and it also reduces bloating. Yes, I'm giving you actual practical tips that reduces bloating. So personally, my goal is aim for around 8 to 15k steps. I typically do around 15 to 20k steps. And not only would you actually start de-bloating, you're also going to start losing weight as well. Now, how do you get this 15k steps? I'm telling you. I know most likely you are lazy, so I'm telling you, walk in your apartment. Yes, you heard me right. Don't go downstairs every single time. When you wake up in the morning and you don't have the energy to probably go outside, you can walk in your apartment, get the steps inside of your house. Walk every single time you're on calls. Like, that has also been a game changer because when I started just walking every single time I was on calls, I would easily just start raking 5k steps, 8k steps. And finally, probably when you're cooking, you don't need to just stand in one place. You can just shift around side to side. Now, this would make the 10k or the 10k steps very, very easy because you're just going to be able to accumulate steps throughout the whole day. By the time you start walking consistently, I can assure you, you're going to see the difference. I'm telling you, and you're not even going to even need an extra gym time. The facial debloating is going to work like that. I know most of you guys probably maybe get your steps in the gym, but if you even implement the things I just told you on this video, you're not even going to add any extra time into your gym workouts. You're going to be in and out of the gym, just like we like it. Keeping our time short in the gym because we also have other areas of our life to build. Fix your digestion, fix your physique. This is quite interesting because I wasn't even personally aware of this. Now, a lean person can still look soft, just like my own experience and even other people's experience as well, because of bad digestion. If, for instance, you feel bloated every single time after a meal, you might be making these mistakes. Now, you need to slow down when you eat. Chew your food properly. You don't need to be in a hurry. Nobody's putting a gun to your head. And this right here also even helps you be in a caloric deficit because when you chew your food longer, it can signal more to your brain that there's going to be more satiety. You also need to add fiber. Now, this makes you fuller for longer. This is also a reason why when you eat whole foods, it digests a little bit slower and it doesn't spike your blood sugar level as quickly as, let's say, when you're just eating just raw sugar. And you also need to stop binge eating late at night. I understand sometimes you guys are busy, and the only time you probably have to have is a meal later in the day. But I would recommend if you can probably like break your meals. This has also really been a game changer for me. You need to break your meals, like fill your body properly throughout the day because that's also when your body needs calories. And by the time you do that, you're going to realize that you're not going to have to binge eat so much late at night. And this will also prevent you from also overeating because when it's late at night and you've probably not eaten throughout the whole day, personally, I also realized that sometimes I could easily just eat for comfort. And we don't want any of that. We want to just fill our body right and see food as fuel sometimes as well. Now, as I said, the goal really is to look sexy by summer. Yes. And for you to accomplish this, the muscles have to be popping. You need that V shape, you need that V taper, the one that she can look at and she's like, yes. You need to understand that when you just lose weight and you skip the muscle, what you accomplish is you look skinny fat, not athletic, not sexy. We don't want that. What we want is we want you to look lean, we want you to look athletic, and we also want you to look like you might be able to handle not even a might. You can handle it. So the first thing we need to dial in is the shoulders because the shoulders create width and presence. This will get you right. Would just be your lateral raises and prioritizing some front delt work and some rear delt work as well. Now your upper chest. With these muscles I'm speaking about, these are called show muscles. These are the muscles that once you take off your shirt, you're gonna look dialed in. Now the next one has to be upper chest. A mistake I used to make is not train the upper chest. Your upper chest is what gives that full look. So an incline Smith machine. If you don't even have or go to the gym, decline push-ups will get you. We then need to get that back. She needs to be able to envision certain things. And with that said, you need to dial in the pull-ups. Dial in. If you can't do pull-ups, I'll say dial in the lat pull downs. Afterwards, I'm telling you, go for your rows to build that back thickness and arms. Arms would be prioritizing dips, tricep, because triceps makes two-thirds of your arm. Then your biceps, simple curls would do. So with around 7 to 14 days, you can actually have that reset. Yes, I'm telling you, you don't need to suffer. You don't need to stop working against your body. By the time you do these consistently, just watch the change happen. Now, your daily protocol has to be dialing in that 3 to 4 liters of water daily, drinking a stupid ton of water to flush and to debloat. Next up, we need to get them steps in, prioritizing sleep. And these things I'm even telling you is going to spill over into your energy levels, make you feel even more productive during the day. High protein, reducing the processed foods. Yes, you heard me right. Then we need to also prioritize our carb intake. Carbs are not demons, carbs are not bad. And finally, we need to stop that late night eating binge so we don't also spiral into comfort eating. By the time you do every single one of these protocols, you're going to understand and you're going to realize that by the time you do every single one of these protocols, you're going to look less bloated. You're going to look way more sharper. That waist is getting tighter. That better muscle pump. And with that said, an overall muscle leanness, which is the goal to get you summer ready. Now, if you want to get summer ready, if you want to get lean for summer, yes, I know that summer is not even almost here. It's now here. You want a system that fits your lifestyle. Every single thing I've told you, you can do. But if you want that personal accountability, and you also want your fitness to actually snug specifically to you, I'm going to tell you, you can book a call with the link because when you book that call, I can get you lean and actually keep you lean by building systems that fit your life. You're going to be able to build that physique you actually really wanted and I believe you deserve as well. The link is in the description and personally, I would love to hear from you. If you're a good fit, we're going to work together to actually get you summer ready. And with that said, that's the end of the video. I want you guys to keep on putting God first, working on your purpose, proving in every single area of your life. Let me know what other videos you'd like me to cover. Peace, ladies and gentlemen.